Imagine waking up in a world where supermarket shelves are half empty, prices for fresh vegetables have doubled overnight, and news reports warn that farmland is disappearing faster than it can be replaced. This is not a distant nightmare, it is a very real possibility. By 2050, the global population will climb beyond 9 billion, and scientists warn that humanity will need nearly twice the amount of food we produce today. Yet farmland is shrinking, water supplies are under pressure, and climate change makes traditional farming increasingly unstable. But hidden in this crisis lies a powerful solution, one that can transform how we grow food and how we live in cities. The answer is vertical farming and small space gardening. These techniques may sound futuristic, but they are already here, and they hold the key to feeding the world in the years ahead. The beauty of this solution is that it works not only in giant high-tech farms but also in your own home, in a single square meter of space that could change everything. Let's begin with a story. A young man lives in a small apartment in Tokyo. His kitchen barely fits a stove and a refrigerator, and his balcony is no bigger than a closet. Buying groceries is expensive, and he often wonders how long he can afford fresh produce. One day he learns about vertical farming. Skeptical but curious, he buys a small hydroponic tower online. He fills it with water, adds nutrients, drops in a few lettuce seeds, and places it in the corner of his living room. Within weeks, tiny green shoots begin to emerge. Soon the tower is filled with lush, crisp leaves. He tastes his first harvest and is shocked by how fresh it is compared to supermarket greens. His grocery bill shrinks, his meals improve, and his friends cannot believe he is growing food in such a tiny space. What started as an experiment becomes a new lifestyle. And his story is being repeated in New York, London, Singapore, Baghdad, and countless other crowded cities. This is proof that vertical farming is not just possible, it is practical. To understand why this works, we must break down the science. Plants do not need soil itself, they need light, water, carbon dioxide, and nutrients such as nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, and trace minerals. In soil farming, roots search through dirt to find these resources, competing with weeds and suffering from pests. In hydroponic and vertical systems, the process is simplified. Nutrients are dissolved in water and delivered directly to the roots. Oxygen is pumped in to keep roots healthy. Light, whether natural or from LEDs, ensures photosynthesis. Because everything is optimized, plants grow 2 to 3 times faster, consume up to 95% less water, and yield as much as 5 times more food in the same area. Instead of spreading out horizontally, farmers build upward. A single square meter of floor space can become 5 or 10 square meters of growing surface when stacked vertically. The result is a revolution in efficiency. The advantages go far beyond numbers. Vertical farming is climate-proof. Crops can be grown indoors year-round regardless of drought, heat waves, or storms. Urban vertical gardens reduce the need for long transportation chains, cutting down carbon emissions. Food harvested at home or in local vertical farms reaches the plate within minutes or hours, not weeks. This means fresher taste, higher nutrition, and less waste. On a household level, small space gardening gives people independence. Imagine producing your own basil, lettuce, strawberries, or mint whenever you want, without depending on supermarket prices. Families save money, eat healthier, and reconnect with the natural process of growing food, even in the middle of concrete jungles. Globally, major companies have already embraced this future. Aero farms in the United States and plenty in California are building massive vertical farms capable of producing thousands of tons of greens each year using aeroponics, spraying nutrient mist directly on plant roots. In Singapore, entire skyscrapers are being adapted into vertical farms to reduce reliance on imports. But the real revolution is happening in homes. With less than $100, anyone can start a vertical garden. A simple shelf with containers, a hydroponic tower, or a wall-mounted system can produce a constant supply of herbs and greens. For renters, portable towers can be moved easily. For families, vertical gardens double as decoration, turning living rooms into green sanctuaries that clean the air while feeding the household. Yet success requires knowledge. The first secret is controlling pH. Plants thrive when the nutrient solution's pH is between 5.5 and 6.5. Too high or too low, and nutrients cannot be absorbed. The second secret is choosing the right crops. Beginners should start with leafy greens, herbs, and small fruits like strawberries. They grow quickly, require little support, and deliver satisfying results. The third secret is aeration. Roots need oxygen, so pumps and air stones are vital for water-based systems. The fourth secret is rotation. Changing or refreshing the nutrient solution every 2 weeks prevents algae and salt buildup. The fifth secret is scaling. Once confident, you can expand from a single tower to an entire balcony or rooftop, multiplying your harvest and even creating surplus to sell. These secrets are what separate thriving vertical farms from failed experiments. Of course, many beginners stumble. Some try to grow massive crops like corn or potatoes in tiny systems, only to be frustrated. Others ignore lighting, assuming a window will suffice, and watch plants wilt from lack of energy. Some let pumps fail or forget to aerate the water, suffocating the roots. Others never clean their systems, allowing disease and algae to spread. And perhaps the most common mistake is fear, believing this is too complex or too expensive. In truth, vertical farming is easier than traditional gardening. Once set up, maintenance takes minutes a day, and costs are low. The greatest challenge is simply starting. Imagine you want to begin today. Your first 30 days can transform your perspective. In week 1, choose your space, a balcony, a spare wall, or a bright corner. In week 2, assemble a simple vertical setup, either a tower, stacked containers, or shelves. Add a small pump, a reservoir, and nutrient solution. In week 3, plant your seeds, lettuce, basil, mint, or strawberries. In week 4, monitor growth, adjust pH, and check roots for healthy white color. By the end of the month, you are harvesting your first crops. From that point forward, the cycle continues endlessly. You eat, replant, harvest again, and realize that your home has become a small farm. In just 1 month, you move from dependency on supermarkets to a degree of independence. In 1 year, you save hundreds of dollars, eat healthier meals, and inspire friends and neighbors to try the same. Zooming out to the global picture, agriculture consumes 70% of the world's freshwater supply. Each year we lose millions of hectares of fertile soil to erosion, pollution, and urban sprawl. Climate change introduces floods, droughts, and extreme temperatures that devastate harvests. Meanwhile, demand rises relentlessly. Without change, the gap between supply and need will grow into a chasm. But vertical farming changes the equation. Growing upward instead of outward creates more yield per square meter. Recycling water instead of wasting it slashes consumption. Producing food inside cities instead of transporting it across continents reduces emissions and costs. Small space gardening allows millions of households to contribute, one balcony or one wall at a time, to global food security. The vision is inspiring. Imagine entire apartment buildings covered in green balconies, each family producing part of their food. Imagine rooftops in Cairo, Mexico City, and Manila filled with hydroponic towers. Imagine schools teaching children to grow their lunches on classroom walls. Imagine kitchens where herbs grow within arm's reach of the stove, harvested fresh for every meal. This is not speculation, it is already happening. In Singapore, government programs encourage urban farming. In Detroit, abandoned buildings have been transformed into vertical farms providing jobs and food security. In Europe, startups are selling modular walled gardens for urban apartments. In the Middle East, hydroponic towers help communities survive with minimal water. Everywhere, innovation is proving that space is not the limit, imagination is. The deeper truth is that vertical farming is more than food, it is empowerment. For centuries, agriculture required land ownership. If you did not inherit or buy fields, you were excluded. But vertical farming changes the rules. Now anyone, in any apartment, in any crowded city, can take control of part of their food supply. 1 square meter is no longer trivial, it is opportunity. It is a declaration of independence from rising prices and fragile supply chains. It is hope in a world facing instability. And it is beauty, as empty walls and rooftops bloom into life. The most powerful revolutions often begin small, and this one may begin in your own home. So ask yourself, what will you do with your meter of space? Will you grow crisp lettuce ready in weeks, sweet strawberries that brighten your mornings, or fragrant basil that turns a simple dish into a feast? Will you save money, improve your health, and join a global movement that could redefine farming? The choice is yours, but the urgency is real. The world cannot wait for governments or corporations to solve the food crisis. We, the people, must take action. And it starts with you, with your wall, your balcony, your decision. Vertical farming and small space gardening are not just techniques, they are the future of food, the green revolution for crowded cities, and the promise that humanity can thrive even when space and resources are limited. Start today. One wall, one tower, one seed at a time. The future is in your hands, and it is growing upward.